Hello everybody and welcome back to CFB25, and we got ourselves some committals here. Alright, we have a 4-star quarterback, Amari Lester from Heber City, Utah, or Heber City, Utah. If you're from there, shout out. Mr. Amari Lester has committed to play for the Aggies next season. He might be the starting quarterback as a 4-star recruit. We probably won't get anything better. We also have a 3-star center in Gabe Emery who's committed to play as well. So we got ourselves a couple big commitments from our recruiting class. We have a lot of guys that were in the top of their board, so we were doing pretty good so far. We did lose a 3-star outside linebacker to UCLA, but we got plenty on our board, so I'm not super worried about it. And the more areas of the team that we do increase through recruiting will make it a lot easier to fill the other holes through the portal. So I'm not entirely worried about building the team for next year. It seems like we're on a little bit better track than we were last year, and I thought that last year, and we still ended up with a better roster. So Lord knows how good the team could potentially be in year 3 with the trend that we have. But it's time to focus on today's game. We are here in Hawaii in their very fake stadium because for some reason the Warriors do not have their actual stadium in the game. I don't know what happened. I think there was a joke where Hawaii tweeted, like, oh, is it still too late to send in the picture? So maybe it was on the school. I'm not entirely sure. But we're in their fake stadium for our revenge game. This is the one conference game that we lost last year was to Hawaii, so this is a revenge game in sorts. And Briggs Jr. is already getting in on some of the revenge, picking up a humongous block, nothing but open space in front of him, using his speed, gets busted out of bounds there by a Hawaii defender, but not before picking up a massive gain, one of the biggest runs for Robert Briggs Jr. so far this year. He's a very important running back, but he doesn't often break off really huge, like 20 to 40-yard runs, and so this is a humongous step in the right direction. Love seeing big things like this develop for the guy here, setting up the running game very, very quickly in this game here. And now we have Corbin Cottle, the backup running back, who's going to get in on the fun and pick up about 9 yards for being brought down. So on 2nd and 1, we're going to throw for it. Forrest Brock across the middle to, I believe it was Tevin Willis, the tight end, who hauled that one in for 1st and goal. And then we're going to give it to Robert Briggs Jr. to finish off what he initially started. And he gets into the end zone for the first touchdown of the day here in Honolulu. So really just relying on that run game. I mean, when it's that powerful, when it's that potent, you really cannot understate just how important it is to have somebody like Robert Briggs Jr., who, I mean, is going for national numbers at this point, man. If we could at least get him on like a Heisman watch list or something, that'd be cool. I don't think there's a real shot, but why not? So on 3rd and 12 for Hawaii, they got 2 men in motion. Is that legal? Can they do that? Can they do that? I don't know if they can do that. On 3rd and 12 here, the quarterback's going to drop back. He's going to uncork one down the sideline, and is beautifully blocked by J.D. Davis, one of our best defensive players, just period. So we get the ball back, and on 2nd and 10, Forrest Brock across the middle to Tevin Willis. We love hitting him across the middle. He always seems to be open. Got to rely on that speed, but we are facing a 3rd and 9. Forrest Brock's going to uncork one across the middle of the field, and he does find an open receiver, but he is short. So on 4th and 1, we're going to try and throw for it again across the middle. We're going to hit the same receiver again because, hey, he's open. 2 plays in a row, we'll go for it. So on 1st and 10, we're going to continue to try and go through the air, and to the corner, we got a wide open Tevin Willis, and he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. So he had beaten 2 defenders breaking towards the corner. They're breaking towards the pylon. So I don't know how, as Hawaii, you have 2 defenders who are thrown off by that much on such an easy route. But as the offense, I will take full advantage of that. So the first quarter is going to come to a close, and now we are up 14-0, just 3 points less. Or actually, we've matched our point total from our last meeting against the Warriors. So we're already rolling here, and we have another opportunity with the football in the second quarter. Uncorking a deep ball, and Forrest Brock's going to find a defender. One of these days, I'm going to stop calling that play and trying to hit Jack Estera on that route because it never seems to work. I think probably 80% of my picks this year are off of that specific play alone. So I'm just going to stop calling it. That's the last time. Mark my words, it's the last time I'm calling that play. Or at least the last time I'm going to throw to him. But a couple plays later, Ike Larson's going to just cut this route, and he's got someone going the other way, and he is the guy on our defense who has the speed. All last year we had dozens of interceptions from defenders who did not have the speed to make it all the way home. But Ike Larson definitely does as an 88, 89 overall on that defense, and he takes a 60-plus yard pick six to the house. And now Hawaii is going to find themselves in a bit of a hole, down 21-0 here, about halfway through the second quarter. So they're going to need to make some sort of adjustment on offense if they want a realistic shot of getting back in this ball game. But already facing a 3rd and 16 due to some sacks here. Hawaii's offense has been stagnant as their quarterback's going to throw yet another interception. And the momentum of Selden Jr. was like going the opposite direction, so I wasn't able to like shoot that gap and run for the end zone. Like it immediately had me going backwards the second it gave me control of him after the interception. So, but either way, we're going to get the ball here in the red zone here on Hawaii's 10-yard line. So we're going to go with Briggs Jr. because we know how much he loves feasting in this area, and he just about gets all that we need to get into the end zone, but gets stopped a yard short. So on 3rd and goal, we're going to try and punch this one in, give it to Briggs Jr. again, and he just gets an inch of that football over the goal line for this one to count, as we get our 4th touchdown of the half, and now 28-0. Things are just really getting out of hand for Hawaii. Really getting out of hand. So we were already rolling pretty easily on offense, and now the turnover battle is definitely going to bite Hawaii in the butt here. But on 1st and 10, Hawaii has driven the ball here just past midfield, and it's another interception heading the other direction. And no one's going to catch up. Quarterback is in pursuit. He's going to try and erase his screw-up, but he cannot, as Avante Dickerson gets in on the turnover fun as he gets a pick six of his own. So we got 2 pick sixes and 3 picks just total in the second quarter. Not just the first half, the second quarter. We are cooking on defense, and this is what an 85 overall defense is going to do for your team, man. This is why we load up at that position, man. It's going to suck losing a lot of these guys because replacing them is going to be freaking difficult. How do you replace an Ike Larson? How do you replace somebody like J.D. Davis or like Avante Dickerson? But we're going to have to figure it out because these guys aren't here forever, but we're going to enjoy this while it lasts. It's 35-0 in the first half on Hawaii here, and it's 3rd and 10 here at midfield. Hopefully he doesn't throw another pick, but we know he's going to throw another pick. Of course he throws another pick, and now J.D. Davis is getting in on the fun as well, but this time the quarterback does track him down and makes the tackle. And he finally gets one. He finally stops one. at a 2 or 3 that he could have stopped, he finally stops one. So, but it is the 4th interception of the quarter. Again, the quarter for Hawaii. And so we, of course, have one of our own, but we're going to hit Grant Page wide open downfield here. He's going to haul that one in about the 2 or 3 yard line and step into the end zone wide open. So we're going to stop calling that one play that I always throw picks on to Jack Stare. We're going to start calling this one where Grant Page is always completely wide open in the middle of the field, because that play, it seems to be a cheese play in this game, man. Just look how wide open Grant Page is. Just look at this, man. And Forrest Brock even put some freaking stank on it. He put some extra mustard on that one. It wasn't completely accurate, but fortunately he was able to catch that and take it into the end zone. So that's going to do it for the first half of play, and it is 42-0. The game is essentially over for the Rainbow Warriors. But I mean, hey, there's still 2 more quarters left. They're going to have to come out and play here. We might across the aisle be like, hey man, you guys want to shorten the quarters? But no, they're probably they wouldn't want that. Shame. Okay, they got a lot of pride here in Honolulu, which is just hilarious, man. Because remember, the final score of this game last year was 14-17 in favor of Hawaii in Logan, Utah, at Maverick Stadium. It was 14-17. I guess you didn't see that video. So to think that we are up now 42-0, we got a little bit better. I mean, we were a good team last year, but we went and got even a little bit better, and we were going to show Hawaii that that was a fluke. They're not gonna do that again. And already getting things started, you got to bench that guy, man. You got to bench that guy. Come on, as Selden Jr. gets into the end zone again, man. Or not again, it's his second pick, and it's his first time into the end zone, but it's the 3rd pick six of the ball game, man. So we have 21 points strictly off of pick sixes, not just interceptions, but pick sixes. I mean, dude, our defense is putting on a freaking clinic. This should be like, this should surge our defense into the top 5 in the country after a game like this, man. These numbers, man, the points generated by our defense. I mean, it's so shortened into the season, man. We're only 3-4 games into the season. That's got to put us in a league of our own, I would imagine. So, but that is going to essentially do it, man. Nothing else would happen. I mean, we'd add a field goal, and Hawaii would score a couple garbage time TDs with our backups in at the end end of the game, but 52-14 is your score. I think it's the most we've scored. I don't know if we've cracked 50 yet. We might have. I can't remember all of our final scores. I think we might have. I know there's a game that we got close to, or we did last season. It might have been UNLV. I can't remember, or maybe New Mexico. I'm not sure, but we definitely had a game pretty darn close, or we did hit 50. But either way, we absolutely embarrassed the Rainbow Warriors on the road, man. We make the long trip out to Hawaii, and we make it well worth it, as our defense was perfectly well rested, and our offense didn't have to do much. Clearly, because as you can see, man, Hawaii outgained us in the second half. Once we had our backups in, we didn't really do much of anything, and so Hawaii was able to catch up in that stat column and move the ball pretty well. I mean, hey, they scored twice, so they were better than us on third down even. I mean, it's weird numbers, but, they were better than us in a lot of aspects. It was just that turnover differential that really burned them. So we end up with a net gain of 5, because Forrest Brock did have one interception. I can't get out of a game without at least throwing one. That's just how it is on this channel, all right? Get used to it. So, but taking a look now, we probably should look at his 6 total picks, man. It's nuts. I think he did throw another one in the second half that I just cut out because we didn't do much with it. But, Robert Jr. only 80 yards on the ground, but 2 touchdowns. So the touchdown game is still definitely his as far as the nation's considered. And we get some good production from the receiving core as well. Look at a breakdown here. A ton of sacks to talk about, too, man. There's so many sacks. Marlon Dean with 2 on the day. He was really disruptive. We were sacking him all day long, Hawaii's quarterback. So that is going to do it, I guess, for the rest of this video. So as conference play continues, in the next video, we will be taking on San Jose State back at home. We're finally at home. So we're going to need everybody back for that, man, as we get into the throes of our conference schedule here, looking to repeat as conference champs